Rent-proof suburbs. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, I'm Florian.Heise and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I've got my morning shine of coffee and I thought we'd have a look at this article from realestate.com.au because it's discussing rent-proof suburbs in southeast Queensland. So, pretty much where I live. I've got a bias. I need to know where these suburbs are. I have my suspicions of where they are and we'll have to see. Do you think they're going to be suburbs that perhaps are supported or lower socioeconomic suburbs that may be propped up by financial support from the state? Or is it going to be suburbs where there's rampant development or infrastructure projects happening to ensure employment? Or is it going to be places around the universities which are ensuring... Oh, wait, no, sorry, international students have disappeared. Can't be them anymore, can it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments before we go through this, because it'll be interesting to see. So, rent-proof suburbs of southeast Queensland. Buyers should invest in, guys. You should invest in these suburbs. Investors are being urged to cash in on southeast Queensland's rent-resilient suburbs, where rentals are in demand and tenants are paying top dollar. Well, we've just started the recession, so we'll have to see. Realestate.com.au has crunched the numbers. Fortunate that they've done it for us. And released a list of suburbs that have recorded a rise in rent over the past month, despite fears over increasing vacancy rates and falling rents due to the pandemic. Rents for houses have jumped more than 20% in East Brisbane, Norman Park and Cleveland, while landlords can expect to pocket an average of $625 a week from leasing a unit in Bulimba. Okay, so let's jump back over to the Property Council of Australia, and what we'll do is we'll just have a look at, median residential unit rents. The weighted average in Australia is 457. The weighted average in Brisbane is 390. Bulimba is more expensive than Sydney, everyone. And what I'll do is I'll bring up another thing. For those of you that aren't familiar with Bulimba, it's where former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd lived. I've got some friends that live in Bulimba. It's a pretty ritzy suburb, everyone. And let's just have a look here. We'll zoom into Brisbane. Good old Brisbane. Here's the river. And we will jump. Here we go. Here we have the suburb. Am I right? Is this Bulimba? I think so. Bulimba, Queensland. Yep, there we go. I thought so. These names get a bit funny. Now, what we'll do is we'll just have a look here. Now, it's a nice area. It is a nice area. We have actually, I'll show you. We've worked on a refurbishment here. We'll see if it's still here. So you can see, look, there's some units there. We'll go down the street. There we go. That's a Lorna Jane we did. Little coffee shop. Looks nice. You know what they flipped over? They converted a video store. A blockbuster movie. But we'll go down the street. We'll go down the main street here and we'll have a look. We'll exit street view. We'll just have a look here. This is the street you have. So it's a nice restaurant precinct here. A nice restaurant. Restaurants, good food, nice cafes. A cinema. Balmoral Cinemaplex. And it's kind of a difficult suburb to get in and out of. You've got the main roads, but we'll have a look at just some of the housing here. We'll look at the streetscape so you get an understanding. So we're talking a nice suburban street with reasonable homes, everyone. Expensive homes, expensive units. Okay, so I wouldn't say this is typical. There you go. These are some of the townhouses you might be getting. I wouldn't say this is typical of all of Brisbane. But also, another thing we need to draw to your attention is how close it is to the CBD. Just over here. So you can just catch the ferry and you could take a nice relaxing ferry ride to work every morning if you're in the CBD. You're not too far from the airport and you've got a nice little enclave there with schools and public parks and facilities. So, we're not talking the average here, are we? We're not talking the average. Is this what we're seeing? That, I mean, we can have a look here in Sydney. You've got unit price growth is higher in the better suburbs. It's lower in the western suburbs, the socio-economic suburbs, or the lower socio-economic suburbs. Are we seeing this manifest in Brisbane as well, in every city? I would hazard a bet that the occupants of Bulimba are going to be less affected by the initial stages of this economic lockdown than other parts of the economy. You'll have a lot of people with, guaranteed two-income households. If one party loses the income, it may not be as big of an issue. We'll see the real effect of all of this once all these support mechanisms disappear, once JobKeeper disappears, once JobSeeker bonus disappears, once mortgage holidays disappears. So we may be jumping the gun now. Anyway, let's have a look. So real estate chief economist Nerida Conisbee said the increase in rents for some southeast Queensland suburbs in the past month showed well-located, good quality properties would always be good investments. Let's see how they last for the next 6 months. The fact asking rents are increasing at that rate during a significant problem in the economy is pretty amazing, she said. Most of these suburbs are in pretty nice locations. If you're buying an investment property, buy somewhere you would want to live and something you'd want to live in. Ms. Conisbee said Brisbane was also faring better than most other capital city rental markets. One reason is the market had a bit of an undersupply of rental housing heading into the pandemic, she said. Vacancy rates were low by March. So Brisbane went into lockdowns in a fairly strong state. We did see a big uptick in properties available to rent immediately following the announcement of the pandemic lockdowns. But since then, we have now seen a reduction in rental properties available. It is looking far more positive than it was. Ms. Conisbee said, while investors were still cautious, the good thing for the rental market was that many renters were returning to work. A new study has also identified 5 suburbs with the right matrix for future value growth, highlighting Bridgeman Downs, Carolee, Newport, Thornlands, and Arundel as the best places to invest in property right now. Aspire Property Advisor Network conducted a suburb-level study of Australian Bureau of Statistics data around population density, residential demographics, household composition, owner-occupier to renter ratio, and property investment type to identify the suburbs. Aspire Managing Director Richard Crabb said these were the areas where rents were expected to hold firm and the potential value gains looked good. It's too simplistic to claim Australia will see ballooning vacancy rates and plummeting weekly rents due to the pandemic downturn when we have such a diverse property market, he said. Not all markets are the same. Sophisticated investors know that some locations will do well even during the crisis. Mr. Crabb said the Southeast Queensland region had already the best fundamentals for great investment performance in the nation. Many of these are lifestyle suburbs where residents have discovered they can work from home and enjoy all the benefits their suburb has to offer without the commute hassle, he said. And he's probably right there. He's probably right. More and more people, even honestly, even commuting from Bulimba will be a pain. Even commuting from Bulimba. I mean, you're coming down here, traffic will be a nightmare on Wynnum Road in the morning. It would be an absolute nightmare. It'd be horrible. If you could just work from home, why not? Why not? You don't have to avoid the nutters on the ferries. The Gold Coast suburb of Arundel is close to the beach and major highways, as well as an abundance of schools and shopping facilities. ABS numbers show has a high proportion of medical industry workers with strong median rent of $400 a week. Given that detached owner-occupier homes achieve such good prices, we'll believe there's a strong opportunity for investors to purchase price-accessible stock in new developments that see strong tenant demand. Yes, well, here's the thing. Medical industry workers, it's essentially you're hedging your bets on the state-paid workers, guys. That's what it is. Bridgeman Downs. According to Aspire's research, Bridgeman Downs in Brisbane's Middle North has a median weekly rent of $450, well above the state average. This location has been a real sleeper. As a traditional homeowner's location, not many investors have purchased here in the past. Census data reveals 30% of Bridgeman Downs residents are educated to bachelor degree levels, while hospital and GP medical services are the dominant industries of occupation. Household income is 70% higher than the state average, and 85% of residents are owner-occupiers. This tells us the suburb appeals to professionals with stable job prospects, good incomes, and strong educational backgrounds. It shows there's a strong owner-occupier demand, meaning the market isn't subject to investor-led downturns, he said. I know of one townhouse project where they've been achieving sale prices of $530,000, which has been readily renting for $530 per week. That's a 5% gross return during the lowest interest rate environment in living memory. Carolee, west of Brisbane and close to Ipswich, has a rural village appeal combined with major city amenities. The location itself is extraordinary, with river frontage and bushland features throughout. Comprehensive local amenities as well as a short drive to Ipswich mean you are never far from services. Yeah, but it's Ipswich, guys. Ipswich is... Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this suburb. Where are we talking? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. My biggest concern is ground issues out this way. Around near Ipswich, near mining, subsistence. You've got to check all of that if you're buying anything out of Ipswich. You've definitely got to check all of that. You've got to be quite thorough. But yeah, that's a nice little pocket there. A nice little pocket. And you are close to everything. You aren't too far from the city, guys. You're not too far. Oh, you wouldn't want to commute. But... So, and once again, statistics show hospitals are a major employer of Carolee residents, with the average household income of $2,408 per week, is $1,000 higher than Queensland. I also note owner-occupiers make up 84% of the household, which means there's solid demand for long-term investments, and the rent is $450. But, I mean, it's all just speckies. Again, what's the common thread to all of this? Hospital workers. Hospital workers. Let's see the others. Newport, in the Redcliffe Peninsula, is renowned for its lifestyle appeal, but not so much its investment potential. This is a canal front address with all the water-based lifestyle appeal you'd expect. In addition, there's comprehensive facilities within proximity, and a short drive to the highway will have you heading north to Sunshine Coast or south to Brisbane in no time. Medical industry was a strong employer, $588 per week. Let's see, we're going to see medical industry again. Hospital workers. So, essentially, they're saying, buy near hospitals. Buy in suburbs near hospitals. You've got people who pretty much have guaranteed employment. And if anything, during a health crisis, it's probably going to get better. What do you think, everyone? What do you think about this in-depth analysis that they've done? I'm not surprised. We'll have to see. I thought they were going to be targeting the suburbs that would be supported by government welfare. But then again, you're going to have other issues in those suburbs. A doctor earning 6 figures a year is probably going to be someone who will take care of your property a lot better. Or a nurse, or even someone just entering the medical profession. It's probably going to be someone with their head screwed on. Seems like it's a reasonable idea. What do you think, everyone? Would you be rushing into it? As always, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay, or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time.